And the first man we will see on tonight's episode of CCW, a former #1 contender to the heavyweight championship. A man that's been having a bit of a rough go as of late, but has all the talent in the world, Darion Ultra.
Darion, welcome back for another episode of CCW. Last week and the week before, you faced some pretty disappointing feats. You had some interactions with Freedom Ramsey that, I can understand they leave you feeling some type of way. Can you talk about what's going on and where you stand with Freedom Ramsey?
As far as Freedom Ramsey is concerned, me and him are on opposite corners of the battlefield because, listen, the first time was when he jumped on me as I'm about to get back in the ring for that Four Corners match, and it was my victory and my rematch against Shogun. And then last week, we had a 1-on-1. It was going good, fine and dandy until they pulled the tights at the end. I don't know if the cameras caught it, but Darion Ultra caught it, and it's not getting past me.
And how do you feel when these things happen to you? I mean, does it feel intentional? How will you overcome these things?
I overcome them the same way I always overcome them, by proving everyone wrong. Everyone who says Darion Ultra can't do it, I prove everyone wrong each and every time and win match after match after match. See, Freedom, he's not used to losing, he's not used to defeat, but Darion Ultra is used to defeat, and I'm used to coming back even harder.
I mean, and I just think that's a credit to your in-ring ability. If there's going to be someone who constantly pushes that challenge, it's going to come from the likes of Freedom Ramsey. So, do you think these setbacks create any further opportunities for you?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
It's a good question.
Absolutely not, because I'm going to prevail no matter what.
It's Freedom Ramsey. What brings you out?
Listen, Darion, not you. Let me see that one. I hear you talking a lot of smack.
A lot of smack.
First off, I hear you saying my name. You name dropping Freedom. You want some freedom. I get it. But you had me last week, and you lost.
Can you see?
What did I say last week? You are simply not that good. You're not that good. But me.
Wow. I'm good enough for you to cheat against, though, right?
No. Hey, listen. I ain't gonna lie. I lost the Shogun. I lost the C Championship Wrestling Championship. And I had a chip on my shoulder. But I'm gonna keep talking.
Let him talk.
Do you know who I am? I'm the man who defeated Timothy Thatcher. I defeated and knocked out Rhino. Hey. As far as I know, your name is nowhere near those guys as far as in-ring criteria, Darion.
Can you repeat what you said again?
Listen, Freedom. You had to cheat to get the victory. And let's not forget, back in July, I'm the only man in this locker room that has a victory over Shogun Jackson. Fairly, might I add. I did not cheat like you. You don't remember that back in July?
No, I don't remember that.
Bombing through the net? You don't remember that? Okay, that's
I wasn't around. I remember I beat you. I beat you 1-2-3. I beat you 1-2-3. You was on the, but you was hurt though. You was knocked out, right?
I was knocked out.
You was knocked out. That's how I beat you. You talking about I rolled you up. I remember you got up pretty slowly. I mean, you was holding your head stuff like that. You was holding your head stuff like that.
Wait a minute.
You got up pretty slowly.
I think we got some special guests in this building. I just want to figure out what brings these guys out.
Look at what we have here. Well,
I'm looking at a certain former world champion. And I'm looking at a certain former #1 contender. But all I see is
Don't put your hand in my face again.
2 losers. Snoring, yawning, sloppy.
I mean, you two think you should be the #1 contender, but all I see is a bunch of crybabies. My God. All you do is complain. Gee. You two shouldn't be the #1 contenders, but I know who should be. Do you know?
I know exactly who should be.
It's on! Yeah!
What do you think, CCW? Do you agree?
Number one contender to what?
For the CCW World Championship. That's right, Anonio himself and Miles Montaigne will be taking on the mantle as the sole lead of this show.
That doesn't make any sense.
First time
You're talking about a whole bunch of nonsense. I think they're delusional.
You two versus third
What
degree.
do you think, Mizzion? These two can talk the talk, but can we see if they can walk the walk?
What is this who you talk? I'm not teaming with this idiot. I'm not teaming with this idiot. He has no idea what he's doing. He has no idea what he's doing.
Freedom
Nope.
Ramsey versus third degree. What do you think?
I'm not concerned with what these guys think. I'm concerned with what the people think. You guys let me hear it. All right, guys. You got your match.
I'm talking over to you, Fiddler.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening match for the evening will be a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first the team of the leader of the Darion Nation, Darion Ultra, and the top ram, Freedom Ramsey. And their opponents, from the Motor City, Mr. Make It Look Easy, Miles Montaigne, the lead and the Encore, they are third degree.
And what a way to kick off our action here tonight. Tag team competition, third degree, set to square off against the unlikely duo of Freedom Ramsey and Darion Ultra. These two have teamed before here in CCW, albeit very different circumstances. That was prior to all the bad blood we have seen start to spill over between these two men. Alluding to it earlier, Freedom Ramsey picking up a victory last week over Darion Ultra, grabbing the tights in a cheap fashion, but even Freedom Ramsey himself, he has gone as far as to claim he does have a chip on his shoulder. He does have an edge. You're seeing it there in the ring right now.
Can you do that?
He has had an edge ever since losing the heavyweight gold to Jackson Stone. That man has been on quite the terror here in CCW. Just last week, a defeat over the certified boogeyman, putting away a win over King Kong Coleman. Probably his most difficult challenge to date as CCW champion. Jackson Stone has been on a rough shot rampage as a part of the new age as this company's heavyweight champion. Let's not forget the man that he won that title from is the man being worked on right now by Encore, Freedom Ramsey, a man that is claimed to be multiple times the face of CCW, and he has earned that right throughout his career here in City Championship Wrestling. But his entire time here in CCW, as you're seeing some closed fists delivered to the face, I have never once seen this man have the attitude he possesses to this day. And right now, third degree, they are taking on the, again, unlikely duo of Freedom Ramsey and Darion Ultra, going for the cover 1, 2. Ramsey picks up only a 2. And as talented as Ultra and Ramsey are, you may have to give the advantage and the edge in this match to third degree. Third degree, they are the tag team. As a nice pinfall attempt there. You got to give them the edge in terms of technical ability of tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling, a completely different breed when it comes to singles competition. You're talking singles competition, Freedom Ramsey, Darion Ultra, two of the most talented wrestlers there are in this entire company. 1, 2, kick out there from Ramsey. But tag team wrestling, a whole other ball game, as you would say. Once again, we are from New Baltimore every Thursday night. Dustin, Fuoco, your host and commentator throughout the evening. Glad to have you a part of the show, and if you're not here live to experience it on Thursday nights, you ought to be. New Baltimore, always the place to be here inside the CCW studios. As now Darion Ultra gets his first step into the ring as the legal man of this match. Still in the ring for Third Degree, Evan Encore, Miles Montaigne remaining on the outside. Darion Champ there from the CCW faithful. Darion Ultra, again, very talented. Ultra talented, no pun intended. As right now he locks up into his grasp, Evan Encore. We've got quite the night of action coming our way here. As a nice snap suplex connects there from Ultra. There's a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Big tag team 5-on-5 competition featuring the New Age still to come. So right now, Evan Encore works his way trying to regain control for his team. A smart tag there made to Miles Montaigne. Montaigne enters. There's that tandem offense that you can see from experienced tag teams. Third Degree certainly falls under the category of an experienced tag team. Gets a count of 2. Near fall attempt there from Miles Montaigne as Dustin Divine, or not Dustin Divine, I'm sorry, Miles Montaigne works on Darion Ultra. I'm thinking of Dustin Divine, who will be participating in that 5-on-5 tag team match alongside fellow rivals of the New Age. New Age certainly has quite the list of rivals. They have made lots of enemies here in CCW at this particular time. All members of the New Age. Very much intact on our CCW roster. Let's not forget, Chris Moore, our commissioner, he will not hesitate to lay down the law. We have seen him suspend multiple members of that faction for stepping out of line. Right now the crowd claps along trying to cheer on Third Degree. Third Degree getting a little bit of love from the crowd here. Darion Ultra, typically a fan favorite, as right now he gets slammed there with a snap suplex. Miles Montaigne now the cup. Somebody that has always been a fan favorite here in CCW, though, Freedom Ramsey, that attitude that he has possessed, that has certainly changed the tune of the fans over the last few weeks. The aggressiveness, the edginess, the do whatever it takes to win, and not in the typical Freedom Ramsey way we've become accustomed to, where he'll pull out all the stops to win, just those stops typically didn't include pulling the tights and sneaking some cheap shots. He won his matches straight up based off of will and determination. Perhaps that victory Jackson Stone had over Freedom Ramsey for the heavyweight gold a couple months ago may have shot the confidence a little bit of Freedom Ramsey, as right now that shot rings across the body of Darion Ultra. Some educated feet being applied there, courtesy of Evan Encore. Good offense connects. Pinfall attempt 1, 2, and they may not like each other, but Freedom Ramsey saving the match for his tag team partner in this situation, Darion Ultra. Not taken lightly to it there. Evan Encore with a little bit of a shove, and he retreats, and look at that attitude there. Freedom Ramsey not the legal man. The cockiness and smugness, as there's a little bit of tag team offense there from Third Degree. Referee wrapped up with Freedom Ramsey, allows them to pull some double team offense, and now more double team offense coming. Is a beautiful spinning heel kick there, drops him down. Look at those educated feet. That's why I said my personal opinion, you got to give the edge a little bit to Third Degree in this match. They have the experience of tag teaming together. And while Freedom Ramsey and Darion Ultra have before in the past, not as much as Third Degree, they are a tag team tonight in Ramsey and Ultra that do not like each other. There's a smug cover there. Maybe if he held the shoulders, hooked the leg, could have seen a 3 count. That only results in a 2, though, for Miles Montaigne. We will see so far in this match the animosity between Ultra and Ramsey has been pushed aside. They have worked together as a cohesive unit thus far. We will see if that continues throughout this match. And while they have been cohesive and at least on the same page, they are not working together nearly as well as a team as Third Degree has in this match up until this point. Evan Encore and Miles Montaigne now in control. Definitely a good predicament here for Ultra to want to make a tag. He has not been in control of this match for quite some time. That dodge there may allow him to have the opportunity. A clothesline builds up a little bit ahead of steam. Not looking for a tag. Remains on the offense instead.
Not bad to me, but it's good.
Darion Ultra there delivers a flying knee. Could we see the tag? No, he's going to stay in the ring and go for a pinfall attempt. Will that do it? 2. Not enough to get the victory there. Darion Ultra still staying on the attack. Smart's not easing up, but again, he may want to make a tag. He may also not want to make a tag. While it may be the smartest thing for this match for him to make a tag to his partner, he may not want to admit that he wants Freedom Ramsey to get in the ring. We saw it just a few moments ago opening the show, some beef between these two men. Right there's a version of the camel clutch being applied, maybe not in full force. Evan Encore able to escape it. Forearm to the side of the head, a knockout type blow. That puts a squander on that. What a shot there, very stiff shot there by Ultra, and a shot there by Evan Encore in retaliation. Snapmare takes down Darion Ultra. Evan Encore not hesitating, trying to crawl and make a tag. We got a pair of tags. Miles Montaigne, the legal man. Freedom Ramsey, the legal man. And Freedom Ramsey jumps right on the attack. The freshest of the 4 men in this match is Freedom Ramsey. We will see if that plays a factor, as right now he looks very confident in control of Miles Montaigne. Hoists him up, drops him down, center of the ring. Freedom Ramsey goes for a pin there. 1, 2, and a shoulder up there from Miles Montaigne. Great tag team action to kick off our show tonight. We have seen the teams advance in our tournament to crown new tag team champions. Looks like we may see that signature leg drop from Freedom Ramsey as he drops it right across the face, right across the throat perhaps. We will see who gets crowned the new tag team champions here in City Championship Wrestling. Our stacked tag team division, it is hard to beat. There's another tag to Darion Ultra. These two again, Ramsey and Ultra, still remaining on the same page up until this point. It may only be a matter of time before they combust, as there's some tag team offense that connects. A bit of a neck breaker connecting. There's a 2 count only for Darion Ultra. Maybe didn't get all of that neck breaker, but enough of it. There's enough of a rake to the eyes there by Miles Montaigne, making the tag to Evan Encore, Third Degree back into control. And look at the fast, rapid-fire shots there from Evan Encore. The crowd is cheering him on. Evan Encore with a kick. The crowd very much respecting the work and tag team ability of Third Degree. Starts across the ropes, and there's some beautiful offense again. Rolling senton connecting to the guts, the abdomen of Darion Ultra. Darion Ultra, speaking of abdomen, he lays in a shot, a knee there to the gut. And now a Darion chant ringing throughout the CCW studios. He is by far and large a fan favorite here in City Championship Wrestling. Holds on to the ropes, and there's a forearm there from his own partner. 1, 2, 3. Give the win to Third Degree, and assist from Freedom Ramsey.
Here are your winners, Miles Montaigne, Evan Encore, Third Degree.
You would never see that out of the old Freedom Ramsey. He puts winning aside, all in favor of a cheap blow, a forearm to the face of his own tag team partner, Darion Ultra. Good win for Third Degree, but on this occasion, a major assist given to Freedom Ramsey as the turmoil between him and Ultra grows.
Freedom, you just took a loss. How do you feel about that?
He said, how do you feel about that? My name is Freedom Ramsey, and you're still looking at the face of City Championship Wrestling.
The New Age may be a lot of things. I would not classify them as the category of a fan favorite here in CCW. I would rather define them as slimy, as cowardly, and as much as I don't want to admit it, at times quite dominant here in City Championship Wrestling.
How's it going?
You are not a tall man, Mission.
What? Okay, one more.
Look at this.
One
The
more
big
right
guy
here.
is an entire head bigger than you.
That's so true. But usually when you come out here, you got a lot to say. So,
No, it's the big gun who does all the talking. I just chime in every now and then.
what do you have to say tonight?
What you called me out here, okay? I was just minding my business in the back, watching Darion Ultra, Freedom Ramsey. I guess Freedom Ramsey's a jerk now. I don't mind that. I always kind of thought he was one. It was these moron fans who actually thought he was ever a good guy. By the way, I never once thought Freedom Ramsey was a good guy. I always knew deep down inside he was a panacho. And he still is as far as I'm concerned.
What's that mean?
And so is Darion Ultra too. Anyways, tonight,
Quiet, Kamasa.
Tonight, this is funny, right? Tonight,
Big step.
Got him. Now it's. Alright, funny. Shut up!
So,
You guys expect this, man.
what's next for New Age?
Tonight, that man tag team match? No. Alright, they're calling it a 10-man tag. I'm gonna talk over you, my nachos. I don't care. They're calling it a 10-man tag, which is erroneous. It's gonna be 5 on 5. 5 men versus 5 padachos. That is not a 10-man tag, because we're going up against 5 padachos. The brothers, first of all, guarantee you not 1 ounce of blood between them. The brothers, and then who else we got? We got Dustin Divine, I think. I don't even know. These are all padachos. I don't care. Mizzion Smith, maybe you're in this tag team match. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is we got the big gun. We got Ike Watts. We got H5, B1, Chuck the Terrible. He's probably gonna light fire in someone's face. I hope it's yours. And then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get the pin. We're gonna win. I'm gonna stand in front of these padachos, put up this finger, and everybody's gonna know how it goes down. New Albania, baby. Name you yeti. Like number 578. That's how low you all are to me. Big cut. H5. Trunk the Terrible. Ike Watts. Andrei Kabashi. That's literally a group. We could go to war with a country and come out on top.
Well, we shall see.
Yeah, you are gonna see. Shall. Who are you, King of England? Shall. We are gonna see. P1, baby.
Well, you heard it here first.
H5, we P1, baby.
Good luck, fellas.
H5.
Hey, I'm Holly. I am the owner of Green Time Workshop and a proud sponsor of CCW. If you're looking for natural bath and body products that don't dry out your skin and don't cost a fortune, Green Time Workshop is your place. Not only can you come in and buy great products like natural soaps and lotions, you can even make your own. And online, you can actually create custom orders that we will make and send right out to you. So check us out at greentimeworkshop.com. Enter this code, save 20%. See you soon.
Champions for Wrestling. I am Mizzion Smith. This is Anonio. Are you guys ready for some action?
Ladies and gentlemen, your next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Well, this is a man who is probably not in the best of moods.
Weighing in at 305 pounds from Coldwater, Michigan, he is the certified boogeyman, King Coleman.
We just saw the new age. You could barely get a word out from Andre Kabashi because the crowd hates him so much. The crowd certainly likes this man, though. Former #1 contender for the heavyweight championship, the certified boogeyman. And his challenge tonight lies in a young up-and-comer here in CCW. He will have his work cut out for him, as Coleman is likely not in the best of moods after coming up just short of winning the heavyweight gold.
Weighing in at 215 pounds from the Motor City, he is simply divine, Dustin Divine.
This man yet to pick up his first victory in CCW. He is hungry for it. All the talent in the world. You look at his look, his physique, his attitude. You look above all else at his skill and talent, as there's a head of steam right taking into King Kong Coleman. You can sense he's hungry for that win. He will have quite the career here in CCW. He just needs to get over that hump of the first victory tonight. He has his challenge laid out and a PO'd King Kong Coleman. German suplex connects you. I will tell you right now, Coleman has nothing to be ashamed of. Quite the battle with Jackson Stone last week. He took the heavyweight champion to the limit. That shoulder block does nothing for Divine against the big man. King Kong Coleman giving Jackson Stone last week his toughest challenge to date as champion. He does not get the job done, though. Jackson Stone may be an unstoppable champion here in CCW. And up until last week, King Kong Coleman was unstoppable here in CCW. That was his first loss here as a part of City Championship Wrestling. And tonight, he has to face a man that I do know he has a lot of respect for in Dustin Divine. These two did face off, I believe, a few weeks ago. This is Dustin Divine's second crack at the certified boogeyman. We will see if this rookie has learned anything in his second go-around, but it's going to be hard to learn how to take on a big, angry giant like King Kong Coleman, who right now lays waste to simply Divine, Dustin Divine. And there's a kick to the back. That could be setting the table for the camel clutch applied to absolute perfection. That has got to be a submission. Coleman is a man on a mission right now. You heard him mouth the words. He wants his rematch. He took Shogun to the limit last week, and you see the anger and frustration. Maybe and even maybe just focus as he puts away Dustin Divine, getting back in the win column. King Kong Coleman.
We'll be right back with some more CCW action right after this.
Welcome back to City Championship Wrestling. I am Mizzion Smith. And this time, I have the pleasure of bringing out our commissioner, Chris Moore.
How y'all doing?
Welcome, Chris. How are you tonight?
Doing well, Mission. How about yourself?
I'm great. Let's hear it for Chris Moore, everybody. Chris, thank you for this time. I don't take this time lightly. I know that you're a busy man, and you're trying to do things here at CCW unlike others. So let me start off by asking you this.
Well, Mission, before we begin, do you mind if I make an announcement?
Absolutely, the floor is yours.
Don't want to take away from your time. Ladies and gentlemen, as many of you have been here the past few weeks, know the situation with one Paul Bowser. Paul and I have had many conversations in that time, and he understands that he may never be back here in City Championship Wrestling again in any capacity. And with the extent of his injuries, it's looking as though this is the end of his in-ring career.
Cat Daddy.
Say it louder, Cat Daddy.
Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy.
So, reaching out to the board of directors, I pled his case, and next week we will see Paul Bowser live here in this ring as he will make his
I don't mean to interrupt you, Chris, but that's the exact reason I brought you out here tonight. I got questions, and I'm sure they do too.
Okay.
So I'm just going to start. Paul Bowser, you spoke up for him. Just like everything I've been seeing going on in City Championship Wrestling, I'm questioning it. I'm questioning you. I'm wondering why it's so chaotic around here and why you're making decisions that seem like they're just so self-centered. Let me ask you another question. You got the heavyweight champion. He's running through the locker room. You know that he can beat this guy and that guy, but you just don't seem to have it together to have a great heavyweight championship match. And let me ask you another thing.
Wait. I would say Coleman and Jackson Stone was a great heavyweight championship match.
True. I'm pretty bad. But let me ask you a question. I mean, just think about it. This tag team championship situation. It just seems like you're just throwing ideas out there. You really don't have a plan. Why is it? And let me ask you another question. You keep getting involved. It just seems like you missed the ring. So if you miss it so much, when will we see the Alpha? Seems like tonight seems like. Quiet down, because you're wasting time just like he does.
Hey, it's not so good when people don't let you speak now, is it?
No, it isn't. But speaking of which, I've got another question for you. Tonight seems like we're just throwing things up in the air. I'm sure you got some type of plan.
Well, I do. But it seems as though your perception of this is a little bit skewed. So let me ask you, where does this come from?
Well, if you don't remember, in that very reign, the chaos that there is the reason I wasn't here for a few weeks. You didn't come out here until it was all said and done. So it just bothers me that you say you got it in control.
Well, as you could recall, the reason I wasn't out here is because at that time I was making sure that Ike Watts left the building. Now, I can do a lot of things. I can provide these people with great wrestling. When I was an active competitor, I could drop a few people on their domes. But for the life of me, Mission, I haven't mastered being in two places at once. So I apologize that you got hurt.
Yeah, give him some credit.
I checked on you, went to make sure that you were okay in your recovery process, and you said everything was cool. But it seems that's not the case.
Well, as you have seen, and if I could just bring it down a little bit, the energy. As you have seen, these guys in the back locker room just think that they can do what they want, speak how they want. And here comes Chris Moore. After it's all said and done, it just keeps repeating itself. You're never there to stop it before it happens. But you got it under control, right?
Absolutely, I have it under control.
I guess we shall see, because next week, as you said, Paul Bowser will be here. And we will finally crown new tag team champion.
Young club.
We shall see what your grand plan is, sir.
You're right, we will. Everything is under control, Mission. But from the look in your eye, I see you really don't believe that. You're questioning that a little bit. So why don't you open up and tell the people how you really feel?
I feel, and this is my honest opinion, we could do a lot better than Chris Moore.
Well, Mission, if you think you can do better than me, I'm not gonna say this. Because it seems to me, when I come out here, I break up the violence. When you get involved, you get hurt. So,
That's gotta be true.
how about this? You're here to announce. You're here to do a broadcast journalism job. I suggest you know your role.
I respect that. I will respect that when you do a better job. When you get it together. When I what? When I what?
See, let me sit you down real quick. Look at me.
eye to eye, man to man. Let me tell you one thing, and it's the thing that I've been telling the whole locker room. This suit don't make me sweet, and it can come off anytime. And let me tell you something, son. You've been here since March. I've been here since the beginning, and I will put your ass down. Now, if there's no further questions, I have a card to run.
As you can see, this is exactly what I mean. We'll be right back with City Championship Wrestling.
That was quite an exchange between you and the commissioner. Are you feeling okay?
I'm fine, Annie. I think we should get back to the show.
Okay, all right. Then let's bring out our next guest. You all know and love him very well, so help me say his name. Please welcome Joseph Anonio Guerrero!
Joseph Antonio
How's it going, Joseph?
Oh, when you're Joseph Antonio Guerrero, every day is a great day.
That's great to hear. Let's hear it for Joseph one more time. Joseph, I'm sure my great friend Andy has some questions for you. Oh, here we go.
Joseph, the past few weeks have been kind of upsetting for you. You were not successful in achieving the CCW Heavyweight Championship, and you did not walk out of that fatal four-way successful. So, how are you going to overcome this disappointment?
Thank you. First of all, both of you made a mistake. I'm willing to forgive, of course, but the name is not Joseph. It is Joseph Antonio Guerrero!
I can't do it like that.
It's all right. The only person that can is Joseph Antonio Guerrero.
That's what
But yeah, there was a few setbacks that happened recently. But as far as I'm concerned, after the loss of King Kong Coleman to Suplex Shogun Jackson Stone, everything's even now. All right, Freedom Ramsey lost. Darion Ultra lost. Sadly, even me, Joseph Antonio Guerrero, lost. But now that King Kong Coleman, it's even. And Joseph Antonio Guerrero, he's going to be getting everything in this ring to get his shot again. And I believe the last time I faced Dustin Divine, I showed that I'm already back on the up. So tonight, with another win, I think everybody's going to be knowing what my name is. And that is Joseph Antonio Guerrero!
Let's give him a hand.
Let's flip it over to our friend Fiddler.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Already at the ring, weighing in at 205 pounds from Las Cruces, New Mexico, this is Joseph Antonio Guerrero! And his opponent.
The most must-said name in City Championship Wrestling, Joseph Antonio Guerrero, preparing for singles competition.
Representing the Dirty Nasty Gang, being coming to the ring, T.F.G. This is Prince Abdul Hakeem,
Accompanied by J. Leo Dantone, those effing guys. T.F.G. accompanying Hakeem as T.F.G. have got their hands full moving forward in this tag team tournament to crown new tag team champions. A lot of animosity between them and the two brothers we saw last week. Right now, Prince Abdul Hakeem set to square off against Joseph Antonio Guerrero, and you see what putting forth effort here in CCW can get you if you got the talent, the skill, the will. Guerrero was by no means a fan favorite a couple months ago, but putting together some wins, putting together a little bit of a hot streak before eventually, as we discussed in that previous interview, going a little cold when it came to winning the heavyweight gold. His hot streak that he did get last month has won over a lot of the CCW faithful, as right now he looks to pick up a victory against Prince Abdul Hakeem. You have to keep an eye on those effing guys on the outside. There's a drop kick there by Guerrero. There's a second one by Guerrero. Two for Guerrero as he delivers a forearm to the face of Hakeem. Looks to whip him into the ropes. Flips him around with a back breaker. He connects, and just like that, we're seeing T.F.G trying to distract the official, and Guerrero gets a little bit of Guerrero's attention after the pin. Credit to the official for not being distracted, following through with the pinfall. Guerrero with his back turned. You don't want to keep your back turned on your opponent by any regards, and right now Guerrero not taking lightly. He is confronting on the outside the dirty antics of T.F.G. is right now on the outside. Prince Abdul Hakeem goes flying, and Don Tone, Jay Leo, they will not hesitate to garner any advantage in any sort of match. Even if they're not in this match, as again, right now on the outside, being assaulted is Guerrero.
You good?
And right now, Guerrero might be assaulted on the outside. I don't know if that was a little bit of playing possum there by Prince Abdul Hakeem. Yeah, it must have been, as now he delivers a knife-edge chop. A minute, it looked like his ankle and his leg was in much pain and suffering as Aiden Hutchinson, Detroit Lion. But now, it looks just fine to me. I think he was applying that technique to gain his unfair advantage while Guerrero got assaulted on the outside. We'll see if Guerrero can work his way back into this match. Already a couple of big matches. We saw a tag team competition not go the way Darion Ultra would have wanted it to go in his loss, but it went the way Freedom Ramsey wanted. He cost himself the victory with Darion Ultra. There's a picture-perfect moonsault. Only flaw is it doesn't connect. Prince Abdul Hakeem with a cover. 1-2. Shoulder up there from Guerrero. And we also saw an angry, certified boogeyman and King Kong Coleman. And you want to talk about anger. I don't want to say anything to get me in trouble, but did you see the rage in the eyes and the intimidation in the voice that he was expressing from Commissioner Chris Moore on Mizzion Smith? Chris Moore, I've never seen him that angry before, but this man, he is not a man you want to upset. He made that very clear. Hooks the leg, does Hakeem. 1-2. Only gets a 2. But in the midst of that, prior to him losing his cool, we'll call it, he did make the big announcement next week. I'll tell you right now, I tell you every week, New Baltimore is the place to be every Thursday night, but it is also the place you want to be if you want to see the last appearance of Paul Bowser. Paul Bowser granted the opportunity by a board of directors to come out, make a farewell speech, a retirement speech next week in the CCW studios. If you would like to see the Cat Daddy himself, Paul Bowser will be here to make a retirement speech. That is the last time we will see him. The last time we did see him, though, well, actually, I don't even believe we've seen it. We will give credit to our camera team for keeping it off camera, but we did see a little invasion from Paul Bowser a few weeks ago. I hope this can be a good resolution for all parties. Paul Bowser can get his goodbye. CCW can have the peace of knowing we won't be invaded by him anymore. Hopefully next week all goes according to plan. And right now, all not going according to plan for Prince Abdul Hakeem as Joseph Antonio Guerrero seems to be in control, and just like that, we're seeing the lobby laid down on T.F.G. They're being dismissed from ringside. Let's keep this a fair battle. I like it. Kick Jay Leo out, kick Danton out. Get him out of here. They aren't going to go peacefully, but get him out. I love that decision. Good decision there by the ref. Atta girl, I like it. We will see if Prince Abdul Hakeem now can do it on his own. As right now he lays some offense connecting. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, and oh, I thought he had it. Very near fall. Very near fall. Credit to Guerrero for getting the shoulder up. This match continues, and now a much more fair type of match. We don't have T.F.G. lurking. We will not forget about them as they continue to lurk for Tag Team Gold. It is currently vacated. They are one of the 4 teams that have advanced in search of Tag Team Gold and advancing to the mat. Hard to the mat is Prince Abdul Hakeem. He's met with a frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Guerrero with the win.
And here is your winner, Joseph Anonio Guerrero.
The pace of the match evens out as T.F.G. gets dismissed from ringside. And as a result, your victor is Joseph Antonio Guerrero. Give this man a win as he gets back on the right track here in CCW.
Those vacant tag team belts. And you both are no stranger to acquiring tag team gold. So what kind of pressure are you feeling against the fierce competition stacked against you? No, this is my microphone.
So, competition. It's funny you talk about competition. It seems like the ones who so proclaim to be our top competition, they're nowhere to be seen. I don't see a bunch of lame boys putting up dubs or around here like a bunch of losers telling everybody they win all the time instead of just doing it in the ring. But man, I'm just curious where they are because it seems like they got an involuntary vacation courtesy of T.F.G. in the parking lot last week.
Oh yeah!
Oh, and I'm just so kind because I knew they were gonna need a full week off of some good rest before facing the best of the best.
And you know what? What were they even thinking? Getting involved with us, our business? I'm starting to get really upset that we are not being acknowledged as the tag team here. We are not getting the respect we deserve. Look at our table. Belt after belt, championship after championship. When they ask who are those guys, you're looking at them. So CCW, get used to these faces. Because very, very soon, we're taking what is ours.
Speaking of which,
I'm sorry, not to be rude.
speaking of which, I see you guys got a new look.
It's how we dress, but whatever.
What I mean by that is, you seem super confident. And though you say you're the best over the rest, I think the locker room needs to understand what that means, guys. I'll let you tell.
Can you also win by not cheating?
What do we do in tag team? Let me just summarize what happens every time we come to this place and we step in that ring. What's that word we like to use? It's two words. Oh, yeah. Dog walk! Dog walk! Two brothers, dog walk! Because that's what we do. You're looking at them, the top dogs!
No, guys!
You want to talk about how we got a new look today? I don't know about you, brother, but I got more than one change of clothes at home.
Because next week we're going to find out who our new tag team champions are.
Will it be the Top Club? Will it be those guys?
Will it be New Era? Well, we shall see. I guess they're ready for some action, right?
Let's ready for some CCW action.
So let's turn it over to our friend, Hitler.
Ladies and gentlemen, here the next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
And more competition set to begin as we await the presence of this man.
Weighing in at 225 pounds, from the greatest city in the world, Boston, Massachusetts, this is the Lykan, Alex Lynch.
The Lykan, Alex Lynch, coming to the ring. Crowd chanting against him, it sounds. And here comes his challenge. I believe that was a Boston guy chant. Such great fans here at City Championship Wrestling.
Weighing in at 190 pounds, from Detroit, Michigan, Showtime, Castro Young!
And as Showtime makes his way to the ring, Gap Band playing and all, he is looking to drop bombs on the Lykan. It is Showtime, it is Lykan. It is Castro Young, it is Alex Lynch. We will see how this match falls. Maybe that's a Boston sucks chant, actually, we're hearing. Hometown advantage, I guess we will give that to Showtime. Castro Young. As these two get ready to lock up in a collar elbow tie-up. A little bit of a test of strength there. Very much in favor that round of the Lykan Alex Lynch. And he wipes his hands clean. Again, the CCW faithful always in droves here at the CCW studio, New Baltimore. Always brings you great action every Thursday night. We would love to have you a part of the show. You can be here every Thursday night. The crowd here tonight, as electric as always. And delivering a nice elbow there to the chest of Alex Lynch. Castro Young utilizing his offense now as he starts across the ropes. Foot to the face, and Castro Young rocking and rolling early in this one. Gets a 1 count, only Lynch quickly getting his shoulder up. Not going to suffer a quick defeat there. Castro Young, fan favorite here in City Championship Wrestling. Alex Lynch typically does not win over the most fans here in CCW as he wins over that battle with a clothesline. He knocks down Castro Young. Showtime taking hard to the mat. We have seen some great action thus far, always do every Thursday night. We saw the certified boogeyman back in the win column. A dominant showing against Simply Divine. Dustin Divine. Submission victory for the certified boogeyman. It was a great tag team match between Darion Ultra and Freedom Ramsey. They took on third degree Miles Montaigne. Evan Encore getting the win. They can add an assist to their own opponent. Freedom Ramsey costing his team the match, just to more or less get one over on his new rival in Darion Ultra. Those two do not see eye to eye. I can tell you right now, I don't think that was the last time we've seen those two come to blows. That is starting to turn into a little bit of a bitter rivalry there. We did see them square off a couple weeks ago. Freedom Ramsey picking up the win last week, as a matter of fact, hooking the tights. Unfair advantage, picks up a 1-2-3 because of it. The score still definitely needs to be settled between those two men, and the score certainly needs to be settled with the New Age and all of their rivals. The New Age, no shortage of enemies there. They have a 5-on-5 tag team match still to come, as Alex Lynch hooks the leg of Castro Young, picks up a 2 count only. Getting back on the offense is Alex Lynch, very wisely sticking to the leg and quickly going for another pin. I like that attempt. Targeting the leg, add some more offense to the leg, quickly going back on the pin. I like that strategy. I do not like the strategy, however, of turning your back on your opponent to argue with the referee. Clearly a 2 count. I don't care if you want to say it was fast, slow, or whatever. That's not changing the decision. Stick on your opponent, and he did not do just that. That allowed Castro Young to try and fight back into it before right back on the attack goes Alex Lynch. And a veteran of this ring, he is wisely sticking on that same targeted leg. You take away the vertical base of Castro Young, very much advantage for the Lykan. Because right now he looks comfortably in control of this match. And since the certified boogeyman was defeated last week by Shogun Jackson Stone, I believe I am not mistaken in saying that leaves wide open vacancy for the heavyweight championship contendership. 1, 2, Castro Young fighting out of that pin. And either one of these men, a win here tonight could boost their stock in possibly challenging for the heavyweight gold. We've already seen Castro Young put together some good matches as of late. Remember back a few weeks ago, Freedom Ramsey, right when we start to saw that little bit of edge from him, his return match after losing the gold was against Castro Young, and Castro Young took a returning Freedom Ramsey to the very limit. And taking himself into the corner, Alex Lynch misses with his splash, and not missing are the knees and feet of Castro Young, and there is a forearm that will wake you up if you don't have your alarm set in the morning. A clothesline, that will do it as well. 1, 2. And there's only a 2 count there. Lykan getting his shoulder up. And Alex Lynch trying to regroup, a little bit dazed and confused it appears, as Castro Young worked his way back into the driver's seat of this match.
I'm done with him.
Did he just say he's done with him? Are we seeing Alex Lynch call it quits? I don't know, but Castro Young not going to have it. Now the Lykan's more than pleased to get back in the ring as he hoists up Young. He is high. He is raised, and he is slammed awkwardly. Oh my goodness, that did not look like a pleasant landing there for Castro Young. 1, 2, 3. He is laid out cold.
And here's your winner, the Lykan, Alex.
And I said it, Young landing awkwardly. That was a devastating move. Thankfully, he is moving, but that was a brutal landing for Castro Young. Your result of the matter. To the dismay of the fans, the victor is Alex Lynch.
CCW, please welcome my next guest. Joining us from the Denny's Palace Rory, it's absolutely fantastic to see you here back after a few weeks. Last week, Rory Shield had a few choice words for you, and it's kind of convenient that you two are never in the same place. So, do you have any response to her heated words? I'm sure you've heard them.
Well, while I was sitting at home, I made sure to watch last week's episode, and I couldn't help but notice just how gross Rory looked last week. And while I was sitting back and relaxing, while I was enjoying, a couple PBRs and some beef jerky, I couldn't help but just really look at that flat tire on Rory Shield, and it made me remember when I slashed her tire. Pay attention next time, maybe you'd hear me. But I couldn't help but just notice that I don't see Rory. So where is she? I'd really like to know, because I overheard that I was scared. But I'm here this week, so...
I mean, she's not here to defend herself. What? Do you think there's something symbolic about her absence?
Symbolic, she's just scared of me to punch her right in the mouth again.
Well, what kind of statement do you think that is going to express to the crowd?
I'm really sick and tired of Rory getting all the attention. Because within 9 months, she was able to get all these belts, all these places, and everywhere she ever wanted. But I've been here for a year yet. And what have I gotten?
And yet we still suck.
Was anyone asking you?
Well, when you see Rory next, is it on site?
It's been on site.
The Grand Slam, ridiculous. And without further ado, let's turn it over once more to our friend Fiddler.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next match is the main event of the evening. It is a 10-man tag team match. Introducing first.
And you want to talk about the definition of a main event. I don't know if it gets any bigger than this. 5 men on one side, 5 men on the other. And here comes Andre Kabashi to lead the charge. The New Age. 5 men who have made it their mission to hold a strangle upon City Championship Wrestling, and by all regards, they have done a successful job of doing just that, especially considering the Heavyweight Championship is firmly, perhaps unrelinquishably, in the grasps of Shogun Jackson Stone. New Age, a force to be reckoned with.
And their opponents, introducing first.
5 men to oppose the New Age. Here comes the Stranger.
Weighing in at 197 pounds, from Brooklyn, New York, this is the Stranger, Max Ramirez.
Max Ramirez making his CCW debut maybe about a month and a half ago.
And his partner.
About to now team alongside 4 other men to take on this New Age group.
Weighing in at 225 pounds, from New Baltimore, Michigan, the eccentric Tommy Wright.
New Baltimore zone, Tommy Rinks, the second of the five competitors.
And their partner.
And here comes man number 3.
From Lincoln Park, Michigan, this is the X-Runner,
Delaney certainly having his fair share of beef with the New Age. A fan favorite here in CCW, no doubt about it.
And their partners. This is the lightning one. Upright. Starman, hard luck. They are
Two brothers, perhaps the two most beloved men in our tag team division. Harley Rock and August Albright leading the charge.
He wants us. He wants us.
That's Tommy Rinks getting his hometown crowd to chant along. He won.
He's not even really
sucks.
from New Baltimore. I don't believe that for 1 second.
Oh, really?
Liar.
And let the trash talking ensue. Kabashi has let a lot of that spew out of his mouth throughout tonight's entire episode. Interview segment, he spewed his filth. And just like that, the Starman telling him to shut it. Let's see. A, who we get as the legal men to start off this match, and B, if the official can maintain control. 10 competitors, 2 teams of 5. Who will come out on top? As right now, Kashuk the Terrible, off to some terrible deeds, trying to spew some pre-match antics. I would rather see that than see fire be implemented in this match. We've seen that many a time. Andre Kabashi even saying earlier tonight in his interview, he wants to see that fire. That's sickening to me. We've got a Jack chant. I believe Jack Delaney is wanted by the CCW faithful. And he is going to start the match off for his team. He is opposed to a big challenge here. It's a big challenge anytime. Big H5 steps in that ring. Ivan Harrison applying the headlock deep into Jack Delaney. Andre Kabashi, Kashuk the Terrible, Ike Watts, Jay Abrams. His partners in this bout, you got to give all those big men. Andre Kabashi maybe doesn't fall into the category of big men, but the other 4 certainly do. Size advantage as typical in favor of the New Age. Quickness, he can give that edge to Jack Delaney as this firecracker keeps going. And dragging in Harrison to his corner, there's a tag from Ramirez. The Stranger now entering in the ring. Max Ramirez getting a chant for him. He has got unorthodox offense we have seen every time he steps foot inside a CCW ring. He utilizes that offense effectively there, driving a knee to the back of the head of Ivan H5 Harrison, and disregarding the rules as expected to Kashuk the Terrible, a big, mean, nasty dude. Here comes the cavalry. Tommy Rinks, Jack Delaney. They come up blazing, and this is why I said it earlier, 2 brothers now in the mix. Everybody in the mix. Do not envy the referee in this situation. Lots of combustible elements. They are all trading blows. Look at those shots there to the face of Andre Kabashi from Jack Delaney. Face first, he goes into the post, and you might have to throw this match out. I don't know how you can control 10 of these competitors. They are just going to blows. Right now we're getting a little bit of order as the New Age is clearing out the ring. Harley Rock, the only man in it for his group. Two big men looking to victimize him. He ducks a clothesline and takes out the knee of Ike Watts. And there's a kick to the chest and just takes out Ike Watts altogether, but just like that, Ivan Harrison now regains the control. He is the legal man in this match, maybe not for much longer, as he indeed does make a tag to the big gun, Jay Abrams. You can say this about pretty much everybody on this New Age team. Big, mean, and nasty. Abrams would fit the mold in that regards, as he uses that big, mean, and nasty power to hoist up and slam down the Starman Harley Rock. Harley Rock now takes a knee to the face. Cover attempt there, only gets a one. The stranger ready to break it up if need be. Harley Rock does it on his own. It's been a great night of action thus far. We have got a great night of action still to come next week. As always, every Thursday night, New Baltimore playing host. CCW Studios giving you the best wrestling around. If you want one more chance to see Cat Daddy, Paul Bowser, he was granted an opportunity to have a retirement speech. We will be witnessing that next week. Make sure you are here live if you want to catch the Cat Daddy one more time. Hopefully that puts aside and puts to bed all shenanigans. As Paul Bowser, the former shot caller here at CCW, the former power at hand. Chris Moore now holding those responsibilities, as the responsibility of the legal man for New Age now belongs to Ike Watts, as he drags the face of Harley Rock across that top rope.
Don't let him fight back.
And a palm, maybe a forearm, whatever it was a clubbing blow to the chest. You see the grimacing pain across the face of Harley Rock as he gets hit with a suplex, a 2 count, and just out of pure will alone, managing to muster up enough strength to get that shoulder up. Match still going. A Starman chant trying to wheel Harley Rock in, and there is a camel clutch. Applied very effectively. We saw how effective a devastating maneuver like that can be earlier tonight. Dustin Divine forced to submit to the certified boogeyman with a similar applied hold. And right now, this match is going in the way of the big men. The New Age controlling the pace. Harley Rock could be the victim of another suplex, but he fights out of that first attempt. Still trying to get another one. Ike Watts unable to do so, unable to get a tag. I believe he did, though. There's August Albright, one of the two brothers. Looks like he went for a Hurricane Rana. The power of Ike Watts puts a stopper on that. Double tag team offense. Connecting. August Albright hits with a Hurricane Rana. And could we see the two brothers build a head of steam? They are calling out Ike Watts. Ike Watts misses with a clothesline. Pair of drop kicks for two brothers. Does not miss. And now the 5-man team opposing the New Age starting to build some momentum. Two brothers showing their closeness, showing their ability as a tag team, and they're showing the strength. Ike Watts drives them both face first into the mats. Mark that as advantage New Age once again. There's a brothers chant now. The two brothers getting chanted on by the CCW crowd right now. August Albright, the legal man, and here comes Mr. Arrogance himself. Fresh off of an indefinite suspension, it lasted maybe a month. Andre Kabashi, the legal man, forearm delivered to August Albright, and swinging and missing, the stranger unable to connect his attack on Mr. P1. As he holds up the one finger, here's another elbow drop connecting to the chest of August Albright. And Andre Kabashi, modest is not a word that he would use to define himself. Maybe he would define himself as modest, I won't. Leg drop one, leg drop. Only gets a 2 count, just barely a 2. August Albright still enough power to kick out of that pin attempt. This is our main event of the evening. It is 5-on-5 DDT. Lands the mark, center of the canvas. And again, another pinfall here for Andre Kobashi. Uno, dos, only 2. Andre Kobashi keeping the control for his team. And here comes perhaps the most dangerous man in the match. He is a fireball waiting to happen. He is the terrible one to shook the terrible. I said the big gun Jay Abrams, he is big, mean, and nasty. Perhaps bigger, meaner, and nastier would be to shook the terrible. It is hard to get nastier than willingly burning your opponents, and there's a nasty chop. Open palm, open hand. A second one right to the pack of August Albright. And this 5-man tandem, 2 brothers, the Stranger, Tommy Rakes, those men really unable to gain any full control at any point in this match. It has been all New Age. You always want to talk about advantages and disadvantages of teams. This 5-man tandem, they don't even have a name because they typically, aside from the 2 brothers, they don't really team together. The New Age, they are a closely knit group since forming a couple of months ago. They have fought together, they have been suspended together, and they have won together. Tonight, this is their first time teaming in a 5-man type match. All 5 of them working together as a cohesive unit. Because of that, you are seeing this group lead this match, and that might have been a little bit low below the belt. Referee are going to allow it. Maybe didn't land low enough for a disqualification, but those open hand chops, very effective. Keeping August Albright in the corner to shook the terrible. Now tags New Albania's Ike Watts. All 5 men for New Age. Even Andre Kobashi getting a crack in this match to lay the damage. And there is power and authority. And talking about power and authority, a big splash for 1. Just barely gets 2 as Max Ramirez breaks it up. And now, we almost saw some pandemonium break loose like we did moments ago in this match. Since the pandemonium, since all 5 men for each team were in the ring fighting and brawling, ever since that point, this match has been very much in the control of the New Age. Who will walk away with the bragging rights? Who will walk away as the victor in this big, epic main event of our evening? August Albright still trying to fight his way back in. Very close to a tag. Ike Watts, I'm sure, is not going to allow him to get anywhere close enough, though. He is not close enough to make a tag to the Stranger, but close enough to make a tag is Ike Watts. Ivan Harrison now in the match, and H5 lays a boot to the gut. H5 laying waste out. August Albright, he needs out of this match in the worst way possible. He needs to make a tag. If that group of 5 wants to have any hope whatsoever of putting away the New Age, which at this point it looks almost like a pipe dream. New Age proving their dominance, proving the control they have, not just in this match, but in CCW in general. An opposing group that looks to control all of City Championship Wrestling as much as they can, at least. Right now they control the heavyweight title scene as 1, 2, 3. Oh, shoulder up there for Albright. Jackson Stone, the heavyweight champion of CCW, he's in the New Age. We could see to shook the terrible and Ivan Harrison. Maybe we'll see Jay Abrams, Ike Watts. One of those teams win the tag team gold vacated currently. Then again, it could also be the 2 brothers. There is so much going on here at City Championship Wrestling, from the heavyweight title scene to the tag team title scene. We saw Ricky Morris a few moments ago as well. saying how competitive Rory Shield, her, and Ricky Morris are, how competitive our tag team, or our women's division rather, is. We've got competitive tag team divisions, we've got competitive women's divisions, singles division, and right now we have a very competitive 5-on-5 tag team match as the two brothers utilize tag team offense. August Albright able to catch a break. There is going to be a tag to Hometown Boy. Tommy Rinks leaps into the ring. Here comes Andre Kabashi. Here goes Andre Kabashi, taken to the outside. He rolls out to escape. There's Jack Delaney making a save, goes for the big gun, and back to all hell breaking loose. Everybody getting a piece of somebody in this match. Referee again charged with the responsibility of trying desperately to regain order, and this bunch, you might as well let them all duke it out. I do know we have Tommy Rinks as a legal man. I believe Andre Kabashi may have gotten a tag and may be the legal man for the New Age. Right now, up close and personal, the CCW faithful witnessing the action with City Championship Wrestling love to provide. It is chaotic, it is physical, it is hard-hitting. And right now, they are all laying waste. This is turning into quite the brawl, and there to Shuck the Terrible. Right across the back of Jack Delaney. This is an absolute fight. It's a barroom brawl. All these competitors fighting, and again, I don't know how much more the referee can allow of this to go on. I don't know how much can go on as there it looks like August Albright goes a-flying. Takes out the party on the outside, and we have got bodies flying everywhere. Harley Rock, now he jumps on Ivan Harrison. The Stranger goes face first into the steel post. There are bodies absolutely everywhere, and I think Andre Kabashi may have put this one away. Tommy Rinks down. Rinks is out. It was a chaotic match, but when it's all said and done, the New Age prove why they are the most dominant faction in City Championship Wrestling. This group, they are borderline unstoppable, and on this night, they could not be stopped. What kind of stranglehold will these men continue to hold on CCW? They hold the heavyweight gold as we speak. The tag team gold may be to come as well. And to Shook the Terrible, I don't like that. He is throwing fire. This group and their tactics, they are dangerous, but they are, on this night, the victors.
Well, Andy, looks like we had another night of exciting action here at City Championship Wrestling.
You know what? Thank you all for joining us for another amazing episode 126 of CCW. What's going on next week, Mission?
Next week we've got our particular episode. Are you ready? I don't think I heard you quite right. Did I hear you say you were ready? So next week, we're going to be here for episode 127, and it's going to be spectacular.
And make sure you tell your friends, to tell their friends, to tell their friends where they can find all of this action, and we can pack this place to max capacity.
Yeah, let's go! CCW! 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 We want to thank you as always for tuning in. see you next week.